with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us. We are down to the wire to pass the state budget. Lawmakers have until midnight tomorrow to cut a deal or shut the government down for only the third time in state history. After hours of what appears to be stalled negotiations, the Senate President, Speaker, and Democratic leadership called a press conference to say the governor won't meet them halfway.
I wish I had better news. But I am bitterly disappointed that we were unable to reach an agreement with the governor today. In response to our last proposal, the governor offered no compromise, offered no counter-proposal. He rejected it out of hand. I still believe that the document, the budget, the state budget that is now on the governor's desk is meritorious of his signature.
To do the same thing over and over again, expect a different result is the definition of insanity. It appears also to be the definition of Governor Murphy's approach to budget negotiations. If our state government is facing a shutdown, it's because the governor believes negotiations consist of one-sided, not budging until the other bends. Let's be clear, if there is a shutdown, it's not about personalities or whether Phil Murphy and the legislative leaders get along. It's about choices in governance. It's about the governor's lack of respect for the constitutional mandate of the role of the legislature with the budget. He likes to talk about Christie, and I think he studied him very well, and his behavior is exactly like Chris Christie's, but he smiles more.
Shortly after, the governor and lieutenant governor addressed the media.
The Senate President and Speaker agreed that we need to ask the wealthiest to pay more to pay for the priorities that we share, and that's a very good step. However, this was soon found to be only a symbolic thought. Their offer of a 9.95% tax rate on incomes in excess of $5 million would raise nowhere near what is necessary to get us into balance this year, let alone position for the future.
I have never seen the level of obstructionism come from the legislative leadership as I am seeing in this cycle. Reference was made to the fact that, quote, Governor Murphy has not fixed the problems that have existed fiscally in this state. And I think that that position that was put out is really symbolic of the fact that they do not want to work with Governor Murphy in fixing this.
Chief political correspondent Michael Aaron and senior correspondent David Cruz double-teamed our efforts to cover this apparent stalemate. They join us now. Gentlemen? David?
May, good evening. It is deja vu all over again, it feels like. Michael, we are going to be joined today by John Reitmeyer and Charlie Stile. Let me bring John Reitmeyer in here, who's our budget expert from Spotlight NJ. Why are these guys still so far apart?
I think the numbers just don't work out right now, even though they are actually moving closer together. So a big movement by the legislature to agree to some sort of a quasi-millionaires tax, albeit at $5 million, not the $1 million that the governor's seeking, but moving and saying we would be willing to tax, have an element of the income tax into this. It's just the rate that they've put forward, 9.95% instead of 10.75%. It seems like nothing, a small percentage, but at that amount of money, the amount of revenue that you need to bring in to cover all of their spending items, it's a big difference. So that's the gulf. Even though it is a big step forward, it's just the numbers don't crunch up tight enough yet.
Yeah. Charlie, the governor said, we're not here for symbolism. I guess symbolism don't pay the rent.
No, there's a lot of posturing right now, and I think one of the most interesting things now coming to the surface is this kind of class antagonism. It's really kind of an upside-down world. You have a Goldman Sachs millionaire who spent most of his career on Wall Street trying to tax millionaires, and you have a blue-collar iron worker from a former bouncer in the Senate president, blue-collar to his roots, defending them. But I do think, though, you have to say Murphy's holdout strategy, if you will, is sort of working a little bit, as John kind of alluded to. They are moving off their staunch opposition, they meaning the legislature, off their staunch opposition to the millionaire's tax and inching closer. And let's see. I think maybe Murphy's strategy is let's make them sweat more another 24 hours.
Michael, 6.5 hours of negotiations today. Do you think the legislators are sweating?
Do I think they're sweating? They don't look like they're sweating, but I'm struck by how far apart these two sides are still with 24 hours to go before shutdown. This is a real political fight. It's almost like a political food fight. The legislative leaders say, Murphy's, it's all his fault. He won't compromise. He won't budge. Murphy says, contrary to what you may hear from the other side, I'm totally willing to compromise. I don't know how they get together in the next 2-3 days.
It seemed, Charlie, like they were close after this morning session, but when they came back in the afternoon, it seemed to have all fallen apart.
I think the legislators, legislative leadership, my take on it is that they felt that by coming off the dime a little bit on the millionaire's tax and extending the tax on the corporations from a 2-year surcharge to 4 years with a new schedule phasing it out after 4, I think they felt that this was it, that this was the deal. We are fulfilling most of his objectives. And on top of that, they also goosed up the amount of money that they're going to commit to community colleges. I went from $5 million in pilot money to $25 million. Still not the full, I believe it was $50 million that the governor initially wanted to spend on this, but still they came off that as well. So I think they felt that they had a really legitimate compromise, and it seems like that in the governor's view, these numbers didn't add up and weren't sufficient.
Yeah. John, did the governor say anything in this press conference to suggest or to confirm that he's moving off of his position?
I think when he suggested that the sales tax could be taken off the table if they could get somewhere on the corporate business tax and on the way that they're scoring a recent Supreme Court decision that lets New Jersey and other states be more aggressive in how they tax online sales. I thought that was a pretty significant signal to say this sales tax, $581 million part of his original budget, he's open to taking out and being replaced with something else. Now, it doesn't sound like, despite him being open to taking it out, he's seen enough from them to give him a reason to not have it in there. But I thought that was a meaningful new, at least public, sign of compromise.
Each side says that the other side's position is metastasizing.
Well, I think on some things there's been compromises offered, on others there haven't. And so it depends on where you want to see movement. So everything where they're willing to move, they're moving, but the things that the other side wants them to move on, they're not. So it's easy to say on one hand we're compromising when some other things aren't. Like that $1 million threshold on Murphy's millionaire's tax proposal is clearly $1 million. No movement there.
Right. Let me get just quick 15 seconds from each of you. Is there going to be a shutdown, and why do you think there is?
I think there's going to be a shutdown. I think it's because these two sides, for whatever reason, have bad blood between them, and that's what's playing out. Murphy said the state's future is more important than political power games. There's a political power game going on here.
Charlie?
I unfortunately agree. I don't think it's going to be a long one, though, because I do see the general arc toward compromise, as we saw today. Right. And I think, frankly, he's following the he's being compared to Chris Christie. I think he's following the John Corzine playbook, which was stand resolute. And if you follow that, Corzine came out smelling like roses after that.
Charlie, it took all your time, so I need a yes or no on the shutdown.
Saturday night or Sunday morning.
All right, John Reitmeyer, Charlie Style, Michael Aaron. In Trenton, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, David Cruz, Michael Aaron, John and Charlie, who are in for a long weekend, I'm afraid. A communications blackout tops tonight's business news. Here with details is Rhonda Schaffler. Rhonda?
Mary Alice, a major nationwide outage is affecting customers of Comcast and Xfinity TV, including some customers in New Jersey. The company said that one of its large backbone network partners had a fiber cut. Comcast said it believes that's also impacting other providers. Comcast did not say how many people have been impacted by the outage, which is affecting both business and residential customers who are unable to get cable, internet, or phones. Lawmakers have yet to get full buy-in from various state business groups over this budget and the conversation around raising revenues. New Jersey Realtors says it strongly opposes the 1% increase to the realty transfer fee on million-dollar homes. The group says that would add a minimum of $10,000 to the expenses of buying a home. The group says the proposal would be another financial hit for property owners and could detract property buyers from moving to New Jersey. The Gateway Development Program Corporation is pushing the federal government to move along funding for the Gateway project. Today, state officials submitted to the Federal Transit Administration an updated funding plan for the Portal North Bridge project. That new plan reflects recently committed state funding for the bridge. The Gateway Development Program says in light of that, the federal government should fully fund its portion of the infrastructure project and make Gateway a high priority. As of today, Toys R Us is no more. The remaining stores of the bankrupt Wayne-based company closed for good today. And while there's been repeated speculation that the retailer would be revived by interested investors, that has not happened. The first Toys R Us store was opened more than 60 years ago. On its website today, Toys R Us thanked its customers with this message: play on. On Wall Street, stocks closed higher. The Dow was up 55. And those are your top business stories.
Tomorrow, more than 700 rallies and marches will be held across America, 16 of them here in New Jersey, to protest the Trump administration's treatment of immigrants. But today, a protest against ICE in Newark got rough. People blocked the Hall of Records, demanding Essex County cancel its contract with ICE to hold immigrants at the county jail, and sheriff's officers got physical. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan was there.
Hey, hey, Joe D, let the immigrants run free.
Demonstrators with a group called Resist the Deportation Machine took their protest against immigration jails to the front door at Essex County's administration building this morning and stood blocking the entrance, demanding to speak with County Executive Joe DiVincenzo. Sheriff's officers asked them to move. They refused.
We shall not be moved.
But the angry confrontation escalated until officers forcibly grabbed and shoved the protesters away from the entrance.
Take them in now.
The shouting showdown ended with officers arresting 8 of the demonstrators,
Okay, no cameras in the courtroom.
leaving the others deeply shaken as a sergeant tried to calm things down.
All I need you to do is wait from the door and protest all you want. We're here to protect you.
Some of those people who were arrested, one of them is a senior citizen, and I think it was totally uncalled for. I think they resorted to violence was their first instinct.
The group wants DiVincenzo to cancel a contract with the federal government that pays Essex to hold hundreds of immigrants arrested by ICE at its county jail at more than $100 a day per person. The issue pushed political candidate Jay Arena to run against DiVincenzo on the immigration issue.
We don't want Trump's dungeons, Trump's concentration camps, and we don't use that term lightly. People are being detained without criminal charge. Financing the county budget by this blood money, trafficking in human beings.
The Essex County executive had no comment on the ICE contract, and Essex isn't the only New Jersey county that jails immigrants for a fee. Hundreds of immigrants linger in county lockups in Bergen, Essex, and in Hudson. The Elizabeth Detention Center is run by a private contractor, and it's here that Democrats recently chose to gather to protest the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy that separates families. But protesters want contracts at all facilities voided, even those run by Democratic executives here in New Jersey.
All across the country, people are doing exactly what we're doing here and succeeding. local governments, county governments, city governments are saying no to ICE. We are ending these contracts.
Eric Lerner and Jay Arena were among the 8 arrested, 7 charged with blocking a public doorway, 1 with disorderly persons. They were released later. The sheriff had no comment on the incident. In Newark, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
Another school bus accident to report. This time, a bus filled with 29 children and adults ran off the turnpike and flipped over. It happened just before noon near Cherry Hill. All aboard the bus were taken to Cooper University Hospital in Camden to be checked out or treated for minor injuries. This time, there were no serious injuries. But last month's fatal Paramus school bus crash on Route 80 has generated calls for increased safety measures and a bill mandating more careful vetting of drivers. Brianna Venozzi reports.
Fighting back tears, the father of 5th grader Miranda Vargas, tragically killed in the Mount Olive school bus crash on Route 80 this May, called for immediate action.
Why has it taken so long to change these laws? Why did my daughter have to lose her life for someone to realize the obvious?
The Miranda Vargas School Bus Driver Red Flag Act, or Miranda's Law, is named in her honor, aimed at keeping dangerous drivers off the roads and from behind the wheel of a school bus.
That when a school bus driver has any driving infraction beyond a parking ticket, the school or school bus company will receive an alert about the infraction from the Department of Transportation within 24 hours.
Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer today introducing the legislation. It requires real-time alerts for every school district across the country. Triggering infractions go to a database monitored by the federal DOT.
Under current federal regulations, employers of school bus drivers are required to check their employees' driving history records annually. So if a driver fails to self-report a DUI or reckless driving or a license suspension, it could be up to 364 days before a school district or motor carrier obtains that information. 364 days.
How did the Board of Education and State fail to realize that you had a 77-year-old man with so many infractions transporting kids? For God's sakes, his last suspension was in December of 2017. Unacceptable.
10-year-old Vargas and her 51-year-old teacher Jennifer Williamson were killed when a school bus driver crossed multiple lanes to make an illegal U-turn, colliding with a dump truck. Investigators found the school bus driver had a long history of license suspensions.
Research has shown that only 50 to 80% of commercial drivers, including school bus drivers, actually self-report violations. That is a serious safety risk because suspended drivers have a crash rate 14 times higher than other drivers.
Miranda's Law builds off a federal DOT pilot program. States could apply for federal aid highway funds to pay for it. Add that to another piece of legislation calling for better safety belts, and sponsors say they hope it'll save lives. Yesterday would have been Miranda's 11th birthday.
We spent it at the cemetery yesterday. I brought her her favorite cupcake.
Bergen County is already working to retrofit all 51 buses in its school bus fleet with the 3-point safety belt harnesses, saying they expect to have it done in time for the new school year. Meanwhile, just this week, the state legislature passed a statewide bill calling for the same. That bill awaits Governor Murphy's signature. In River Edge, Brianna Venozzi, NJTV News.
A new community health center is opening in Newark's West Ward. The St. James Federally Qualified Health Center will expand clinic services for a community that tends to rely on hospital emergency departments for primary care. It's fueled by $1.4 million in federal funds announced by U.S. Senators Cory Booker and Bob Menendez.
This $1.4 million grant is about more than a building. It's about opening the doors to affordable health care to this community. Because right now, we know there aren't many primary care providers in this neighborhood.
I'm very concerned with the lack of health care in this ward.
This new site will bring it home, and everyone will be able to get their health care within their community.
I am proud today to work with Bob Menendez and Councilman Payne to bring federal dollars into our neighborhoods, to expand access, to expand opportunity, to create more jobs.
New Jersey's joined yet another multi-state lawsuit against the Trump administration, this one to stop the Environmental Protection Agency from easing restrictions on the hydrofluorocarbons that contribute to climate change. The EPA put limits on HFCs when cleaner alternatives were developed, but recently issued guidance effectively suspending its own ban on HFCs in manufacturing. In joining the suit, State Attorney General Gurbir Grewal called climate change the greatest environmental threat to the state and the planet. The summer season's off to a sizzling start, with the Garden State under a heat dome that forecasters expect will send temperatures soaring toward the danger zone. Leah Mishkin looked into ways to stay safe when the mercury heads into triple digits.
Remember the days when there was snow on the ground and we were all dreaming of summer? Those days seem long gone as a heat wave sweeps the country.
The heat is unbelievable. We waited so long for this, okay? Waited so long for it. And now it's here and it's a scorcher.
Temperatures hit the 90s in Newark, where we ran into Rose Elijah and her 5-year-old granddaughter.
I want the icy ball. I want the icy ball.
She wasn't the only one in search of a way to cool off. Others got creative.
Yes, I had to freeze it. Yes, because it's too hot out here. We like to go make sure, check on the elderly, and we have animals ourselves at home. She has 3 cats. I have a Shih Tzu, a dog. We got to make sure they have water, they are in the cool.
That's one of the recommendations from the American Red Cross as temperatures climb. Check on animals and make sure they have plenty of water. Also, check on friends, family, or neighbors who don't have air conditioning. And if you don't have air conditioning, go to public places like libraries, malls, theaters, or designated cooling stations during the warmest parts of the day, like the John F. Kennedy Aquatic Center in Newark.
It's nice. We can go there, get in the swimming pool, cool off, check on the family, check on the kids, everybody, the dog, the cat, everybody drink a lot of water.
On a warm day like this, up to a half a quart or liter every hour or so would be very reasonable. Children under the age of 4, of course, infants, older people are also more vulnerable, as are people taking certain medications, any type of diuretic, and other medications that could make you more sensitive to heat.
The New Jersey Department of Health says signs of a heat stroke are hot, dry skin, a high body temperature, an absence of sweat, and a strong pulse. Now, if you think you have a heat stroke, they say immediately call 911. And while you're waiting, move to shade or air conditioning and apply ice to armpits, groin, and neck and back, or immerse in cold water or ice.
All heat-related illnesses are a result of our body not being able to cool quickly enough given the environment we're in.
More than 600 people in the United States die every year from extreme heat, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Please, people, please, watch your kids and your animals and stuff. Please don't leave them in the car. They cannot be left in the car. Please.
The New Jersey Department of Health also recommends you wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothing. And icy isn't a bad idea either.
You want every flavor? Yes.
In Newark, Leah Mishkin, NJTV News.
Some noteworthy facts that help you know Jersey. There are 4 immigrant detention centers in New Jersey. Zillow says the median home value in New Jersey is $317,200. The PATH system from New Jersey across the Hudson was established in 1962. And for a list of cooling centers across the state, visit nj211.org. If there's someone who you'd like to get to know Jersey, share. Use hashtag KnowJersey. Midnight Sunday is the deadline to agree on a budget or shut down state governments, along with state parks and beaches and non-essential agencies. You can follow our coverage live at njtvnews.org. And next week on NJTV, regardless of a shutdown, we're live in your neighborhood, Long Branch. To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thank you for being here. We'll see you Monday.
NWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of New Jersey residents and businesses for more than 100 years. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.